I will give Baker credit for resiliency.
Yeah, thanks.
You've been humble.
What about me?
You've been mature.
He's doing a great job taking what the defense gives. He's not playing hero ball. Dave Canales, the offensive coordinator, is doing a great job putting him in position to be successful.
I do. I always have believed in Baker. I fervently believe I always will believe in Baker. Can I break it down for you?
Break it down.
All right, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose to the divisional rivals in the Atlanta Falcons 16-13. I'm going to say this straight up and just right to the truth. I am not bailing on the Bucs. This is going to be a video of I got questions for the Bucs fans. I legitimately have questions that I need answered on particular players and personnel and staff. That's one. And number two, I'm here to relieve any stresses. I'm here to renew any faiths that have been lost in the Buccaneers. Let's start. So, first thing that I saw when I actually looked at the game, there are a lot of people out there that are going to talk about the Buccaneers, and they didn't even see the game. Okay, first things first, Baker's height looks to be an issue. I saw countless batted balls, and I am an Oklahoma Sooner fan, so I understand where Baker's strengths and weaknesses are. The defensive tackles know, get your hands up, get your hands up. They even said it on the announcements like, hey, the Atlanta Falcons defensive line are on all one accord to raise up hands and bat the ball down. I'm sure that's every defensive line also. Another thing, on this one particular play, he avoids the sack beautifully and passes it to Rachaad White inside the 10-yard line. You guys are on the goal line. Unfortunately, you failed to score on third down when Cade Otton was wide open. It's just, unfortunately, Baker did not see him. The pocket closed almost immediately, and when he was stepping up, he lost sight of all of the receivers. Cade Otton was unfortunately open. You guys could have scored your second touchdown. You did it. That's fine. Moving on to who I think is the most important offensive piece that you guys have. I knew who this player was, but I really wasn't super sure on how great he is. Like, I don't know. I saw him and I'm like, this guy is special. Rachaad White, what the hell, man? First of all, he looks sick. His name is sick. The number one is sick, and he is sick. It's amazing that he is so good at so many different things. I think the way he is being utilized and moved around, it needs to continue to happen. And if anything, put it on times 10. He needs to be everywhere, in the backfield, in the slot, on the outside, in motion. Everywhere you can move him, that's where he needs to be. Both him and Devin Tompkins. And it's so funny, as I'm writing down my notes on this video, I'm saying in my head, where's their speedster? Where's the guy that's going all over the place? I was like, oh, is it this 83 guy? Okay, he needs to be implemented into the offense a little bit more. And then boom, in the third quarter, he has that disgusting fumble. I personally believe it's not a big deal. It's not a huge problem. I don't know if it's the norm. Once again, I'm only going off this game. But is Devin Tompkins, is he the guy that you guys used in the pre-snap motions? Is he the burner? Is he that scat back? Is he the Tyreek Hill of the team? But Rachaad White, I think that dog needs the ball 10 times more. And he got the ball for 13 carries. He had 6 receptions for 65 yards, 34 yards on the ground. He needs that. He's good, guys. I think he's like one of them ones. But he needs a yin and a yang. What do I mean by this? I like Keyshawn Vaughn, but the combination of Keyshawn Vaughn and Rachaad White, it almost feels like Rachaad White is like an Alvin Kamara and Keyshawn Vaughn is like Keyshawn Vaughn. If I'm going to have Rachaad White, a guy that could do pretty much everything, give me like a Leonard Fournette, like a big body back, a Punisher. I need a Punisher with Rachaad White. Like, remember Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, a Punisher. That needs to be the focal point. I personally believe there was an unfortunate 3rd and 1 crucial play that Rachaad White was the backup and he just got swallowed up. It was laughable how much he did not move the pile. And I think that's where a Leonard Fournette, I'm not saying go call Leonard Fournette. I do not want that for y'all. Do not call Leonard Fournette right now. a back like that, though. A big body, a guy that can get you those 3rd and 1s, a guy that can scare the defense, wear down the defense, and then you just have Rachaad White, the scat back, just makes them more exhausted. Another thing that I saw that's a big point, but before we get into it, guys, I'm broke. I don't have a lot of money. Your likes and your subscriptions help feed my family that I don't have. I would appreciate it if you guys go ahead and do that right now. But another thing that I realized is, like, you guys do have slower receivers. And it's no flack to you guys. Chris Godwin, he's got some speed, but he's no speedster. And of course, you have Mike Evans, who I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I saw that old man juice, how he stacked AJ Terrell in the first quarter, stacks him, bumps him with his shoulder, and then just beautifully catches that pass for the touchdown on the sideline. If he is not in the Hall of Fame at his 5-year retirement mark, it's all BS. I think he is a Hall of Famer. You guys let me know in the comments. He got his Super Bowl. He had back-to-back. What was it, 7 seasons? 1,000 yards? Let me know in the comments. Was it 7,000 seasons? Was it 20? I don't know how many. Was it 50? I don't know how many seasons, but he had back-to-back 1,000. We do not slander Mike Evans on this podcast. We move on. Also, this offensive line, it's embarrassing. If you ask me, Miles, I only have 10 seconds to tell you why you lost. I'm like, oh, the offensive line has no discipline. And unfortunately, they cannot stop false starting and they cannot stop holding, and we move on. That would be the reason. I would have to say I have never seen so many holding calls and false start calls on big plays. Rachaad White has a 17-yard scamper, and the rookie Trey Palmer wide receiver type action gets called for the holding call. I personally believe that was BS. It was not a great call, but it gets called. Lastly, and we're going to cap everything out here, this defense, oh my gosh. I am still very certain that this defense is Super Bowl ready. Not Super Bowl caliber, not Super Bowl potential. If this defense was in a Super Bowl tomorrow, well, we'll do next Sunday since they just played. If they were in a Super Bowl next Sunday, they would be ready. Antoine Winfield, that back down against Drake London in the back of the end zone. I promise you, not many safeties, especially at his height. Drake London coming out of the backfield on that wheel pass, but also to have the poise to calm down. You have a 6'5" receiver right in front of you. I'm clearly shorter than him. Let me get the ball, and you got it beautifully. My 2 biggest questions for my Buccaneers fan base: Yaya Diaby, what's he like? I saw that fumble recovery he had. How's he working? How's everything going with him? And my other guy, Joe Triod, how's he been growing in the NFL? Because I remember I'm a Bengals fan and I really wanted him. How's he growing? I think he has incredible tools, and I think him having Shaq Barrett as guidance, as a mentor, is massive. I think he's going to be a huge pillar for you guys in the future. I need to know, how is he doing? And then lastly, and this is how we keep the main thing. What do the fans think? What do you see every week? Is it Baker Mayfield's limitations? Is it Todd Bowles' defensive strategies? Is it Dave Cannelli's offensive play calling that's stalling out the offense? Or, look, I'm going to be honest. Y'all are fine. It was the Atlanta Falcons. It's a divisional game. They know you. You know them. It was a bad game overall. Everything's going to be fine. And then actually one more. The mobile quarterbacks. How do you guys fare against mobile quarterbacks? It seems like every single time Desmond Ridder took off, it was a massive play in some way or fashion. So let me know in the comments, guys. I had a lot of questions. Thank you so much. And if you love the NBA, we are starting a channel just like this for our NBA fans. So go ahead, let me know in the comments. Yes, I want the NBA content too, and we'll get things started for you. Thank you so much. And please, guys, this is the main thing. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.